Do you want to know what's actually pretty crazy? It's that you don't need a perfect funnel, you don't need 100,000 followers, you don't need some huge authority. All you need is 5 seconds of someone's time in order to make them want to buy from you. And it's not about using some like manipulation tactic or anything like that. Okay? It's just about one simple concept. And once you understand this, you'll realize why so many actual great offers and great products go completely ignored. Okay? And this will show you how to not be one of them. When people come across your stuff online, it could be like IG, profile, or posts, it could be ads, it could be email, basically anything that you put out there that you want people to consume, either to make a purchase, to hit follow, it doesn't matter. People who come across those messages are subconsciously asking themselves various of questions. And depending on the answer, they either scroll or they consume. And the thing is that if they don't consume, then they will not buy from you. It doesn't matter how good your offer is, how great of testimonies that you have. If they don't actually start consuming your stuff, then they don't buy. And so what people ask themselves when they come across your messages is like, is this for me? Does this person care about me? Do they understand what I'm going through? And if you can't answer yes to those questions, then people will not consume what you have. And the thing is that pretty much 99% of businesses, whether they know it or not, most people don't, have such vague messages, sales messages, marketing, etc., that either their ideal clients don't even consume the content, or what happens is that the not so ideal client consumes the content. And what does that lead to? Well, it leads to like stress, discounts, or them asking for discounts. They're just terrible clients to deal with, etc. And examples of such messages are like, unlock your potential, whatever potential it is. Could be unlock your business potential, unlock like your personal potential, which a lot of people in the woo woo manifest mindset niche talk about, unlock your potential. But the truth is that those things mean absolutely nothing. It creates no connection with the person reading, and so they don't consume. So basically, what you have to do, once again, is get more specific. And how can you get more specific? Well, first of all, you actually need to really understand your target audience. And again, most people really don't. They only understand this very vague stuff. And that's why they have to say, unlock your potential, or are you uncomfortable in your own skin, or are you in a yo-yo lifestyle diet? It's just like, these things are so vague, and people have also said them so many times that people, and when I say people, I mean your audience, becomes completely blind to these messages. It creates no connection, and it doesn't make people consume, right? And so first, we have to actually understand our ideal client. And we have to understand them fairly deeply. We have to understand what their fears are, what their actual desires are in their own words. And I'm not talking about, let's say, if it's just weight loss, where it's just, I want to feel confident. Well, that means nothing. Like when you make these sales messages and you want to write something like become confident, immediately ask yourself this question: so what? Pretty much for every claim or every benefit that you want to put out there. So what? Why do they want to become confident? And if you can't answer that question, then you need to go back to this step and understand your audience. But most of the time, it's pretty much common sense, especially if you've been in the market for some time, as in like being in the market as a business owner. Like you can kind of just guess what the answer is and make a pretty accurate assumption. And if it is just an assumption, then you can just test it, right? And so in this example, become confident in your own skin. So what? So that you can take your shirt off at the beach. So what? So that you can attract that good looking girl that you always see at the beach, and she looks at you and you can see that she, I don't know, giggles or whatever. Now you're getting very specific, right? We went from become confident to now actually talking about a very specific scenario, a very specific desire that they want to live. Now, in some cases, you can't directly target those very underlying, let's say, desires, like the example I just gave. But you sort of have to imply it in a lot of cases. And so this is what I mean with understanding your audience, because when people think about their problem and what they want, they are not saying to themselves, I want to unlock my potential. I want to be comfortable. They're saying the specific stuff that I just mentioned. Like if we take let's say a business owner, and they have a lot of just bad quality leads, right? So this business owner is like sitting on the laptop, just talking with terrible leads all the time, right? Instead of me saying to them, do you feel stuck in your business? Right? Because, I mean, sure, that's technically maybe what they are. They're stuck. They have these terrible leads that show up to calls, wasting their time. They're talking to them for an hour only to get, the sales a money objection, and they try to handle it for a long time and they just can't, and now 60 minutes is gone, etc. Right? I can say to them, do you feel stuck in your business? Which, again, it doesn't really mean anything. Or I can just say, hey, are half your calls filled with tire kicker leads who throw out objections after being or seeming like a good lead or something in the beginning? That's way more specific, and it's actually a situation that people live in and that they can think about. They're not thinking about, I am stuck. They're thinking about, all of these leads on my calls are absolutely shit, but I need to take these calls because of the slight chance that one might be decent, right? So hopefully this makes sense. And so the TLDR of this is like, actually speak to the problems and desires that people are living and that they are telling themselves that they have. Like, you have to enter the conversation in their mind, right? And this is how you actually get people to consume what you have. Because if you stick to the vague stuff, it doesn't matter how good your offer is, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how great your skills are. If you can't get people to consume, then it doesn't matter. And consumption always starts with the connection. Okay? This is also, you could summarize this with a word, and it's called positioning. Okay? And so positioning, wait, yeah, positioning, right? Strong positioning means that you're capturing the attention and getting the consumption of the people that you actually want to work with. Weak positioning is you're not triggering consumption, and or you're triggering consumption in the wrong people, right? And so this is basically the basis of business success. Like if you get this wrong, then nothing else that you do really matters, because everything, every sale, every conversation, every lead, it starts with consumption. Okay? And actually, there is an amazing book on this, probably the greatest book I've ever read when it comes to marketing business. It's called Stand Out or Fade Away. And you can find this on Amazon. It's written by a very amazing marketer and salesperson. His name is Pedro Martins. It's on Amazon. Get this book, okay? If you master this concept, literally everything that you do will be easier, okay? That's the video. Goodbye.